This is the Builders Business Success Podcast for builders who want to attract more quality clients who aren't price-focused, eliminate cash flow pressure, and get paid for every quote. Here's your host, Mick Hawes.
Hey folks, welcome to another episode of Builders Business Success Podcast. Now, if this is your first time, if you are losing your virginity with this podcast, what it's all about is for builders, primarily established builders, because we tend to talk about the problems that established builders have. And I guess if you're new to building, if you've only just sort of started up your building business, it's probably a good thing as well, because one of the things we're going to talk about today is prevention is better than the cure. So rather than learning all of the bad habits that tend to create a lot of the issues with building businesses, it'd be good to start off on the right foot. So this is episode 49. So that means that next episode's going to be episode 50, if my maths are correct, which means we'll do something special. I have no idea what it will be, but we'll do something special. We might do an Oprah or something, and a car for you, and a car for you, and a car for you. But then again, we probably won't. We might do a book. I've got some books here, so we might do a book giveaway or something like that. But anyway, we'll figure that out. We've got a whole week to figure that out. So this episode 49 is focused on how to get paid premium prices rather than competing on price, because that's just a race to the bottom. So how do you get paid premium prices? And when I talk about premium prices, I'm really just talking about how do you get paid appropriately for the value that you deliver, the skill that you have, the experience and knowledge that goes into what you do. How do you get paid appropriately for all of that, and have your clients love what you're doing and promoting your business for you? So that'd be a cool thing to talk about. So we're going to talk about that. Q&A today is a question that was asked this week by somebody, and they said, how do I manage difficult clients? So I'm going to address that question through this episode as well. And of course, we've got a personal productivity hack for you as well. Now, if you are watching us live, because we do this live, we stream it live to our Facebook group. Our Facebook group is the Builders Business Success Forum, and you can search for that on Facebook. Click the join button, and there's a few questions that you answer to get access, and then you're into the group. Now, you can then participate in the podcast live, so you can ask questions and interact and so forth. And you also, when you go into that Facebook group, you get access to a whole bunch of really cool, experienced people who are more than happy to help. And I really think it's so important to belong to a group of like-minded people in the same industry as yourself if you want to speed up the progress and the success of your business, because it's just like a peloton in a bike race, that the group will always move faster than an individual rider. And by sharing our problems, by sharing our wins, by asking for help, people get the opportunity to share their wisdom, share their experience, share the benefits of the mistakes that they've already made, so you don't have to make them. So it's a great idea to join a group. So jump into Builders Business Success Forum on Facebook and start asking questions. Plus, there's a whole bunch of resources that we've posted in there over the years that you can search for and get really good value in there. So let's get stuck in. As I said, the topic for today is how do you get paid a premium price and have your clients love you for it and promote you and your business. And what I forgot to do was mention that if you are watching, I went through that whole thing about the Facebook group and what have you, and didn't say, if you're bloody watching live, put in hashtag live into the comments. If you're watching us on the replay, put in hashtag replay. Why didn't I say that? I went and did the big build-up and forgot the punchline. So anyway, now that you've got the instructions, just go ahead and do that. Now, let's get back into this. So the topic of discussion is, how do you get paid appropriately? I've said there, how do you charge premium prices? But really what I'm saying is how to get paid appropriately for your skill, the value you deliver, the knowledge and experience that you have, and have your clients love you for it and then choose to promote you and your business. The simple solution to this is what we call in Builders Business Black Belt, Deliver Plus. So the 4 areas of business that we talk about in Black Belt are attract, which replaces marketing. We talk about qualify, which is the quality client pathway, which replaces sales. Marketing and sales, dirty words. The third part is Deliver Plus, and that replaces the build process. And in Deliver Plus, in Black Belt, we talk about a number of things, one of which is understanding what Deliver Plus means, but also how to build and maintain a very high-performing, productive, effective team. Now, we're not talking about that today, but we are talking about the Deliver Plus. Now, what you might be thinking to yourself, what the bloody hell are you talking about with this Deliver Plus? What is all that Deliver and what's the plus all about? Well, let me explain. So, the Deliver needs to be understood because I don't believe in most cases clients experience what they feel that they should experience. And what that means is that the Deliver simply means delivering on the expectations of your client. The plus is going above and beyond, and we'll talk about that in a moment. But let's just establish the baseline. And the baseline is delivering on the expectations of your client. It doesn't happen very often. I know you might think that you do, but start to speak to some of the clients and you'll find that that doesn't happen. And the reason that it doesn't happen is because most builders, when they're doing the building, right, they're actually creating the structure, they still believe that that is what they're being asked to do. That's why they've been engaged. And it's just not the case. The reason that a builder was engaged, when you really get down to tin tacks and dig below the surface of the psyche of your prospect and then your client, is that they have a problem and they want a solution. They didn't want a house or an extension or a renovation. They had a problem, and that was part of the solution. The renovation, the house or the extension, whatever whatever it is that you're building, that isn't what they were after when they engaged a builder. And the thing is that most of your clients don't realise this at a conscious level either, but at a subconscious level, what they are after is guidance, protection, support, direction, caring, feeling like they're understood. All of those things are the things that they're after. And so at a conscious level, what we need to be doing if we just want to deliver on the expectations is finding out what the expectations are. So instead of just asking about size and colour and all of the specifications about a build, we need to be asking about the priorities. We need to be asking about the concerns. What are your clients' fears, frustrations, wants, and aspirations? And when you're putting your proposal together, and we did this on a previous episode, when you're putting your proposal together, you need to be able to identify and help your prospect at that point see how you have allayed their fears and frustrations with your proposal, and how they have, or how you have delivered on their desires and their aspirations in your proposal. What that does is shows that you've been listening, that you've been paying attention, but been paying attention to the things that are important, that are really important, super important. And that is what their subconscious expectations are. And so to just be able to deliver, you need to know what those expectations are. That we're not even talking about the plus bit yet, which is where the magic happens. But the being able to deliver on their expectations is the first thing that needs to happen. So you need to have a process that identifies and helps your prospects and then eventually your clients get very, very clear on what their expectations are. Because when you begin to talk with them, they're not even clear on what their expectations are. So you've got to have a process that helps them unpack their expectations. Then you can deliver on them. And what you then get is a satisfied client. And you might go, yoo-hoo, because a satisfied client is much, much better than an unsatisfied client, a disgruntled client. Wouldn't you agree? I hear you all scream in unison. Yes, that is the answer. I would much prefer a satisfied client. But then there is this issue of, and you might not realize this, but a satisfied client is of no use to the future promotion and improvement and betterment of your business. Satisfied clients don't scream from the rooftops how wonderful you are. They go, yeah, good. You know, that's your testimonial. How was the builder? Yeah, it was good. Like, do you want testimonials like that? Because this happens, and I don't mean testimonials on video or anything like that. I'm talking about when your client, after the handover, maybe they might be talking about this during the build process, but after the handover, they get asked by their friends, by their family, by their associates, by their connections, what was it like? And they're going to tell them, but they're not going to talk to them about your skills and your abilities of how wonderful your miter joints are or anything like that. They are going to talk about how they felt about you. In other words, how you, in their mind, made them feel. That's what they're going to talk about. And if you just delivered on their expectations, they're satisfied. And when you're satisfied, they're not motivated. They go, that's what I expected, that's what I got. That's not reasons to scream from the rooftops about how wonderful it was. That's just their expectations have been delivered upon. So they're satisfied. Whoopee. But I tell you what, folks, that is significantly better than what most customers of building projects experience right now. The majority are experiencing frustration and disappointment and fear and concern and all of those negative things. And we need to change that. And you are fully in control of whether this changes or not by the way that you run your business. So that's the deliver part. So we've got to get that down first. We've got to have a process to understand what their fears, frustrations, wants and aspirations are, and a process to deliver on those, and a process to make sure that they see, hear, feel and know that you've delivered on those things. That's baseline. Then we'll get into the plus. The plus is where the magic happens. This is where they will start to yell from the rooftops about how wonderful you are, and they'll start to stop people and say, I've just got to tell you about my builder, when they haven't even asked. That's what you need. You need people who are going to interrupt the conversation because they just want to tell people about their experience. Just like when you've heard the funniest joke you've ever heard, just before we get into it, I need to tell you this joke. It's hilarious. Or when you've seen a great movie or a great show or something like that, it becomes the topic of the conversation. You don't wait till people ask you. You interrupt and you start, you've got to see this movie. You've seen this movie. You've got to see this movie. That's how we need our clients to be speaking. And that needs to be the energy that our clients are using when they are communicating about your business. How that happens is by creating the plus on this deliver. And the plus are little surprises, and they need to be surprises, folks. You don't tell them that this is going to happen. It needs to be, you understand what a surprise is, right? You don't go, I'm going to tell you what's going to happen. And then when it happens, it's not a surprise. It needs to be a surprise, so you don't mention it up front. But there's a bunch of ways that you can really stand out and create memorable experiences that cost very little to nothing. A couple of examples. Let's say that in your discussions that you have had with the husband, you've found out he's a golf tragic. Here's what you do. You go find a golf magazine and you find an article in the golf magazine and you rip it out of the golf magazine and you fold it up and you put it in an envelope. And next time you run into the husband, you see them personally, you simply do this. You go, I remember you said that you're a bit interested in golf. I found this I found this article that I thought you might be interested in, and I've got it for you. And you hand them the envelope, drop the mic, walk away. Don't make a big deal out of it. Just say, I remembered that you had this interest, this passion. Thought this might be of interest. Here you are, leave. It's super powerful because they probably can't even remember you having the conversation about golf. But from a subconscious point of view, that is super powerful because they are going, wow, this person listens, they pay attention, they care. You might have heard that little Janie, the daughter, was into gymnastics. Next time you see the mum, go find a gymnastics DVD or something like that and go, I remember you said little Janie was into gymnastics. I came across this DVD she might like. You know, bit old-fashioned, but that's okay. You can be old school. It doesn't matter a shit whether little Janie even has a DVD player to play it. It's the thought that counts, right? But you're handing them something that represents that you listen and you pay attention. Another slightly more costly example of that might be that you send a car to pick up the husband and wife one day when you're at slab stage, and all you've got on the slab is the walls chalked out. So the chalk lines are on there, and you might write the names of the rooms on the slab. Go get a nice table with a nice tablecloth and get the team involved in this and cater or cook it yourselves on site a lunch and invite the husband and wife, the owners, the clients, get them on site. Go get a car to pick them up, make it memorable. It might cost a few $100s to do this. The team are going to love it, and I can guarantee you that your clients are going to be talking about it for a long, long time, where you're sitting around just chewing the fat, having a good time with the clients and the team in the dining room. So, there are not even any walls. That's memorable stuff. That's stuff that they're going to interrupt conversations to talk about. And so your mission is to come up with lots and lots and lots of these ideas. So design lots of different ideas, inexpensive ideas that might cost a little bit, but it's just so worth it. And then schedule those things into the process. So you've got to have a system where a reminder comes up. It's time for a plus surprise. It's time for a deliver plus surprise. What have I got in my library of surprises? Let's go do it. And it needs to be a little bit random, not regular, but it really makes a massive difference. The team need to be involved in this, okay? The team need to be on the same page, understanding that your product, your company's product isn't what you're building. Your company's product is the experience, the quality of the experience that your client has. That's your product. And so everybody needs to be involved in the the delivery and the improvement, the refinement of the quality of your product. Okay? They need to know, the team need to be involved in understanding what the purpose of this business is. And when I say team, that's everyone. That's suppliers, that's subbies, that's direct employees, anyone who's involved. They need to be across this. They need to be part of your team and contributing to the quality of the product, because that helps everybody. So you always need to be improving this. We're going to talk about this in some future episode about how to get the team involved in this, because it's really powerful. And there are so many benefits, not only for the client, but for your business and the team when everyone gets involved in this. So my question is this worth it? Is it worth putting the effort in? Like, stop nailing bits of timber together for a little bit and put some effort into this. Is it worth it? I have to say, absolutely. It is absolutely worth it. And here's why. Because your client in the future, after handover and all that sort of stuff, they're not going to remember what you said, and they're not going to remember what you did. They're going to remember how you made them feel. That's what they're going to remember, and they're going to remember that for a long time. So do you want to be remembered for being unreliable, overpriced in their view, which just means you didn't deliver value? It's got nothing to do with the price itself. It's got to do with the price versus their perception of the value that you delivered. So do you want to be remembered as overpriced because you didn't deliver the value? Do you want to be remembered as something that caused frustration and disappointment? I hope not. I hope the answer to that question is a resounding no. Do you want to be remembered as the guide, the person that guided them through a pathway full of all sorts of dangers and man traps and potholes and pitfalls, and you guided them through that? Do you want to be remembered as the guide, the protector, someone who made them feel understood, someone who made them feel that you gave us stuff, that you cared for them, someone who made them feel important? So I hope this makes sense, folks. If you've got questions about this, how do you do this in your business? We'd love to help you. And what we'll do, because I haven't got my link prepared as I should have, but we'll definitely put it in this time after we're finished, because Brian will remember to remind me to put it in after we've finished. Click the link in the comments section and jump on a call so we can guide you to where the resources are that you need for what you want for your business right now. And it's going to be different for all of you. So that's why I'm saying let's jump on a call, because otherwise I could just send you a link to the stuff that everybody needs. But everybody is in a different space. Everyone has different problems, different priorities. And so by having a short conversation, we can guide you toward the resources that are going to be best for you based on where you are and where you want to go. So click that link. If you're watching the replay, the comments will be, the link will be in the comments. If you're watching it on the blog, there'll be a button underneath the video. If you're listening to us on the audio-only version of this on Apple Podcasts or Spotify or whatever your audio podcast platform is, all you need to do is navigate to buildersbusinessblackbelt.com.au, and there's schedule a call buttons all over the website there that you can press. Let's go to the Q&A. So I hope that made sense. I mean, I get a bit fired up about this because it's not just builders. I think most small businesses just have really no idea of what their product is, and they think, builders think it's the house at the end of the driveway. It's not. It's the quality of the experience. And if that is your product, you need to have a commitment and a schedule to be regularly refining the quality of your product. Q&A, as I said. And the question that we were asked this week was how to deal with difficult clients. Hands up, those who have had a difficult client. I see all of you with your hands up. if you've been in the building industry any longer than 5 minutes, you will have had a difficult client. And somebody said, well, how do I deal with them? There are many ways to deal with them, and I'm not even going to answer the question. I'm going to sidestep it, because if I answer the question, it's not really addressing it the appropriate way. So what do I believe? I believe that prevention is better than the cure. Sure, jump on a call and we can help you deal with the current difficult client, because that happens. But we need to learn from that, and we need to put into place processes that prevent you having a difficult client. That happens in black belt all of the time. Like, people learn how to implement the quality client pathway. They educate, and they have a self-qualification process for their prospects, so they end up with really good quality clients. But as the building game is, there are people still in their businesses that came into their businesses well before they joined black belt, and sometimes we're dealing with the fallout of that. Sometimes it's legal. It gets to that legal point, but it's definitely distressful, and it costs them a lot of time. And when they see how they could have done it, they get quite disappointed and go, I wish I had known this a few years ago. Well, you couldn't. You can only learn it when you learn it. And hopefully, if this is when you're learning it now, you need to grab it and you need to implement it. And that is the quality client pathway. And it's a series of behavioral hurdles. So they are actions that you ask your prospects, because they're not clients yet, to take. And it is designed in such a way that the right type of people for your business are quite happy to jump over the hurdle, and the people who aren't right for your business won't jump over the hurdle. They won't take the action. And that means that they disqualify themselves out. So quite simply, they don't go to the next part of the process. They don't call you back. They don't, do what they need to do to trigger the next part of the process. So you don't have to say no. They are deciding whether they are a quality client or not. And part of the quality client pathway is these little chunks of education. So you create a hurdle, but you put a little step in front of the hurdle, which is made up of education, which means that the right person will step up on the step and just jump over the hurdle without an issue. But the people that aren't appropriate for you won't. We've got a resource called the Quality Client Pathway, or the Qualified Process. We've got a couple of names for it. If you want a copy of that, so you can implement it into your business, you can just give us an email. Email mick@buildersbusinessblackbelt.com.au and I'll shoot you out one. No issue. Or if you want to know a little bit more about how to implement it, like I said before, just jump on a call. And I've told you a million times how to do that. Link in the comments button under the video. Go to the website, schedule a call. I'm getting sick of saying it, but I'm going to continue to say it because I need you to do it. There's no use sitting there complaining about how shitty things are if you're not going to do something about it. It's all well and good to listen to the podcast, but you need to implement. And if there's something in your way, if there's something holding you up, all you need to do is jump on a call and we can get rid of those speed humps, get rid of the confusion, answer your questions so you can move forward faster and start to implement this stuff a little more effortlessly into your business. So I hope that answers the question about how to deal with difficult clients. Don't have them in the first place. But if you need a hand dealing with a current difficult client, you can jump into the Facebook group, ask the question there. You can schedule a call, do whatever you need to do to get us to give you a hand with that. No problems whatsoever. Personal productivity hack time. It's important to understand what motivates us to do things and continue on with processes, because if there is a process that you've been given that makes sense, you may or you may not follow it. But the secret to that is giving yourself quick wins. Psychologically, it's all about getting quick wins. So I quite often talk to our black belt members about units of effort. I know it sounds a bit weird, but it's to help you to explain where you put your time, energy and effort each day so you become more productive and feel like you're really making progress. And it's all about getting quick wins. So let's assume, for instance, that you've got 5 objectives, 5 problems you want to solve, 5 goals you want to accomplish, whatever it is. But there are 5 of these objectives. And each of these objectives requires 5 units of your effort. I don't know what a unit of effort is, but let's, just for the purpose of the exercise, let's say that a problem requires 5 units of effort to overcome it, or a goal, 5 units of effort to accomplish it. And let's say that you've only got 5 units of effort to give each day, because there's only so many hours in the day and you've got other things to do. So there's only 5 units of effort that you've got to be able to put towards fixing a problem or accomplishing an objective. So you've got 2 options. Option 1 is you can put 1 unit of effort into each of your 5 accomplishments, goals, problems, whatever. How long is that going to take before you get your first win? Well, mathematically, it's going to take 5 days before you get your first win. If you're putting 1 unit of effort into each of your issues, it's going to take 5 days before you get your first win. Option 2, what if you put all of your units of effort into the 1 issue, the 1 problem, the 1 goal? That would mean that on day 1, you get a win. And folks, that will get you sucked into this process. That will get you connected. That will cause you to want to do this again and again and again. But what will do the opposite of that, what will cause you to lose the plot and get disheartened and feel overwhelmed, is putting 1 unit of effort in lots of things, not getting a result day after day after week after month. That wears you down. So understand this little productivity hack, personal productivity hack. Find 1 thing. It's like paying off debt. If you read Profit First, they say, what's the easiest debt to pay off, the quickest debt to pay off, not the most smartest debt to pay off based on your accountant's calculations. It's all about what can I do quickly and easily so I get a win. And then you put all your resources into the next one so I get another win. And you start to get into this winning mentality. That's what this personal productivity hack is about. So figure out something that you can create a win with, put all of your units of effort, all of your focus onto it, get the win, and then move on to the next and move on to the next. It will change how you go through your day. So I hope that made sense. Takeaway. What's the takeaway for this show? To me, it was all about prevention is better than the cure today. Procedures and focus on your actual product. That's prevention, okay? Create procedures around the quality of your product, improving the quality of your product, delivering your product in a better way, which is the client's experience. Prevent bad clients from entering your business with education and the qualification process. Again, if you want a copy of that, just send us an email or give us a call, schedule a call, and we'll sort you out. And keep your energy up with rewards. Prevent getting down in the mouth because you're putting all of this effort in and not getting the outcomes. It's all about prevention. Prevention is better than the cure. It's a much better way to build your business. So I hope that makes sense. If you've been watching this live, I'd love you to put hashtag live into the comments. If you've been watching it on the replay, put hashtag replay in the comments. Really appreciate that. If you're watching it on the blog, hit the button under the video and book this call. So every business has what I would call like a damn wall. There's like one issue, one problem that when that one problem is addressed, it fixes a whole lot of other problems as well. And you just need to have somebody external from your perspective to perhaps guide you to what that issue is, what that problem is, what that objective might be. And it, the damn wall opens and a whole lot of problems disappear. So love you to book a call, love you to jump on to have a live conversation with us so we can find out about your business, what your particular issues are, help you to find what that damn wall problem is, and address it so a lot of other problems will disappear. It's just a short conversation to find out where you are, where you want to go, and we can point you in the right direction. So You've got all of the information about how to schedule that call, just to go ahead and do it. I hope you've really enjoyed this episode of the podcast, episode 49, episode 50. Next week, we'll be having some form of celebration in some way for 50. Looking forward to it already. Looking forward to having your company back in the Facebook group Builders Business Success Forum. If you're not already a member, jump in and become a member of the free group and participate in the podcast live. We'll be back next week, 10 a.m. in the Facebook group with another episode of Builders Business Success Podcast. I'm Mick Hawes from Builders Business Black Belt. That is it. Bye for now.
Okay, that's the podcast. If you have a question or want to know how Mick can help with your building business, email your request to mick@buildersbusinessblackbelt.com.au. Do it now.